Flock up or flock off, not too stick around. It's a post-game bird gang thing. You already know how it's going down. I got mine, you got yours. Click of the ticker. Let's get straight through this, man. Like, that was different. Bang, boom, pow. I ain't even messing around this time. Like, I told y'all I might not come in here. Seems whatever I had going on seems to have subsided. But anyway, what the fuck was that? Like, I feel that the buy slowed us down or something. All the things that we figured we solved, we got to give it up to the Packers, although we just smoked them. We smoking on that Green Bay Packer pack, you know. Jalen Philadelphia Phillips out here showing out. What's your boy? How can I forget? BG making his presence felt. That was dope. You know, didn't, get a sack or anything crazy. Almost had a TFL, but he was causing chaos immediately the second he came in. And it was so many plays, and I was like, I felt like his experience, his expertise was going to be needed or would have been appropriate if they would have dispatched that. But regardless of what, a W is a W is a W. I've been saying that all year. I don't want to start feeling like we did a few years ago. Like, you're just looking like it's a little different, but there's still some things that remain the same that, because we went through that, we're going to have PTSD from that for years. Like, just like we're winning games, but not in the way we think we should win them. And that's horrible to even think or fathom. Like, that's crazy. A win is a win is a win. A defensive struggle, like, I'm not one of them dudes. I need to see offense in order for it to be an exciting game for me. But there's some moments, a lot of question marks, a lot of what are we doing? And to the point I was trying to make earlier, like, the bye week steps up. And last year, I heard Saquon say it during the bye week. Like, last year we kind of needed it. I believe it was Exciting Mike's podcast. It was Cooper DeJean and Blankenship who said that. That's right. Like, it just feels like it always comes at the right time. We definitely got a lot healthier over this. We acquired a lot of things that were needed. But I feel like the offense was rolling. See, that's crazy because I'm strictly talking about offense. This is a full team thing. The defense showed up. This was a defensive struggle. We held a pretty high caliber offensive team to only 3 points. Seven points tonight. That's great, but they were missing a lot of pieces also. However, we have to be who's in front of us, and that's exactly what we did tonight. You just feel like you feel not full. Like I always say when I hop on here, I get crazy. Like, even though it was late, we still cleared our plate. We ate, yada, yada, yada. But I mean, I don't feel full tonight, and that could be because I wish I would have waited for this because this is just coming off fresh and like really take it in and break down and really see it like this is deep. There's nothing wrong with winning a defensive struggle, and I'm not seeing holes open, guys coming back, and offensively it just didn't look as sharp as it did the last two games. And I'm hearing commentators speaking to the point that the last two games they ain't really played nobody, da 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 da. And it's like Minnesota has a good defense. The Giants have a great front four, but we already know what's going on over there. The defensive coordinator could put the team to a snore. Like it's. So I get it. I even heard Rex Ryan say this morning, like, it looks like the Giants are running a JV defense. So I could get that a little bit. But, you just felt like the changes, especially like, and then it was the first drive, one drive you wouldn't expect it to hold an experienced team like this with so many stars on it back just off of one drive. You figure we'd come back and hit the ground running the same way we did with the first drive because we were moving. Unfortunate, Jalen Hurts fumble, can't really hold it against him because that's not what we do. That's our boy. That's our quarterback. That's H1M. I was chilling. I was into the great Hurts. What are you talking about over here? But I mean, we could button if all day. If the guy wasn't there, his knee would have hit the ground already. Wouldn't have been a fumble. And then he hasn't been running that much this season, so probably lends himself to not securing the ball quite properly. I don't know. Too many damn excuses. But that drive was looking great. And then the rest of the game, it seems that the offense got stale, and that was a big word back in that 2020 season. The offense just wasn't clicking the way we would want it to. A lot of weird things. Slippery Phil kind of reared its ugly head again versus them, and then you hear during the game that it's a thing over there. What the flock was that? Yeah, it's a thing in Green Bay. A lot of other teams complain about it, say that's an issue. Their field is slippery. So I imagine, or I would hope that our equipment managers would know this and we out there with the longer spikes or whatever, but whatever that was not the case. That's not what happened. And we gutted it out. got the W. We always know 1 + 6 = 7. We saw Smitty and Jalen, and then Saquon Barkley with a big play prior to that, and then a field goal by Jake to make, and we in there. We celebrating the win. What more could we ask for? First in the league, first in the NFC at least. Yeah, top of the tops. Rocking right now what I believe is the Seahawks and the Rams, right? So let them beat each other up over there while we sit over here in our cushy seats, living, having first world problems, complaining about an ugly win. You feel me? That's crazy. So all in all, we have to take it for what it is. It's a W, and that's all that matters. But into the good points. Shell in Philadelphia Phillips, we got a new dance, y'all. And we got BG over here with that. I can't wait to see that pop back up. But like I said, he made his presence known. We got Jalen Philadelphia Phillips over here getting a fumble recovery and a fumble force in his first game as an Eagle. And you saw he was causing all kinds of chaos, cacophony, and craziness in that backfield of the Green Bay Packers while we smoking on that Green Bay pack. That was dope. Daps for that. It's fire. It's what we want to see. Adoree Jackson, I know he gets a bad rap. I hear other commentators and talking heads and content creators, talking crazy about him, like it's horrible, this, that, and the third. But you saw, I know some of these graphs, some of these PFF things, you feel like they can skew any stat to make a guy look good. But I mean, sometimes the proof is in the pudding. He's had we even heard Vic Fangio say this, somebody that you could clearly hear to a certain extent that he wasn't a fan of Adoree Jackson early in the offseason, in the preseason, during training camp, whatever the case may be. But he also gave him credit, like, some of these things that are completed on him, these are tough passes, tough coverages. He's still got tight coverage on whatever guy he's on. So I saw a few things tonight that I like from him. So they put him back in there. They left Jair Alexander back home. And Adoree, in my opinion, acquitted himself well tonight. We would have to watch it back to really break it down. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. We're talking about 10-7, defensive struggle yet again. These guys putting up baseball scores. It's wild. Far stretch from the 45 that I said. I saw in the earlier video, LG, my boy LG, L Griffith, he said that, he was seeing like 38. And we came nowhere near that. Whoever had the under the night got a bag. Like, whoa. And if you teased it down to 20, it's getting crazy. 10-7 is wild. But we must give kudos to the offense as much as we give kudos. We must give kudos to the defense as much as we give kudos to the offense in past games. Well, not too much this season, but when your defense is out there styling out like that. But I'm pretty sure you saw a lot of open guys running across the field that Jordan Love didn't see, which still gives you cause for pause. Bit of trepidation, like, will we be able to sustain this going against, for lack of a better term, better quarterbacks? Got to give Jordan Love his credit and all, but a lot of people don't, and games like this tell you why. Like, Coach LaFleur was over there going crazy, like, what are you doing? Guys are right there, and this is football, though. It happens. What are you gonna do? But the defense stepped up. Loving Jalen Phillips. I don't think that was a pass interference by Jihad, but, they call it, and I thought it was a pass interference on A.J. Brown. The guy doesn't turn around. He runs into his chest, but I guess maybe A.J. didn't really sell it too much. But I definitely like what I heard post-game from Devontae Smith, speaking to the point, like, whatever 1 and 11 want to do, we with it. So it seems like it was a bit of a collabo. It was definitely giving me, I hate to keep bringing it up, 2023 vibes versus, I believe it was the Commanders, and then they did one against the Seahawks. They won against the Commanders, albeit it was an ill-advised deep threat when we could have just ran the clock out, much like tonight. But, this is it's wild. I was saying this to Mega Maniac and Maniac Jr., like, they're aggressive in times that you want us to, not so much passive, but, run the clock out, dog. Like, this is our 4-minute offense. We're going to pass 2 times after they use the first timeout on a 2nd and 2? What are we doing here? And then yet again, time to run the clock out. Okay, we can't run the clock out. We got to punt now for whatever reason. That I didn't like that whole series of plays. It's wild, but then you get aggressive, and I love the aggression. It's just, it feels ill-timed, and I'm low-key upset somewhat at the bye when it came at the time it did, because it seemed like Petulu may have been getting in his bag a little bit, getting a bit of a flow, and then having that bye week kind of like slowed him down, sort of like you freeze a kicker, like now he's a little bit too in his head, paralysis by analysis. You can see it from home sometimes. I haven't watched the Manning cast yet because I can't listen to them while I'm watching I could watch other Monday night games and listen to them, but when it's us, when we playing, I just can't do it. So Well, and I'm pretty sure they may have said the same thing that I'm about to say. Whatever the case may be, I'm sitting there, I'm watching it. You see, we're running with Saquon. Saquon subs himself out. Bigsby come in, and you can almost know that we're running because it seems sometimes he's in a Madden mind state, like a young minded mind. The way we used to play the game, like, okay, he's not gonna expect this because Saquon's on the bench. Like, but no, they see this. I've seen it time and time again. Can't quite pinpoint and articulate what I'm really trying to say, but I believe you guys get it, and this is the therapy that I need, that we need. Oh, God, the remote controls got crazy tonight. Maniac Jr. looking at me like you're nuts. You need a psychiatrist, a psychotherapist, a whole psycho. Yeah. But back to, like, we got to stick with the good points. The defense acquitted itself very well tonight. Quinyon went down early in the game. I thought perhaps it was a concussion because the way the dude landed on his head. No, initially I thought he may have had the wind knocked out of him because the guy landed on him. Then you saw the video and he landed on his head, but then he just composed himself. You know, Quinyon out here probably with the cheat code or something. Composed himself, I guess possibly before let me stay on the field a little bit before they give me the test over there in the blue tent, so I can get myself together and get back in this game. I mean, you never want these things. You never want your guys to get concussed and come back in the game and perhaps further hurt themselves in the future. However, I hate putting a but after that because that's crazy. However, seeing him get back in that game was a plus. We saw Lane Johnson go down and he came back in crazy, such a warrior, and it just pushes you off to no end. But I mean, this is football, but you're like, we just had our bye week. We got fresh. We got ready. And then we see Lane Johnson get banged up a little bit tonight. The penalties have to stop, albeit I know we're still dealing with a backup center. We're dealing with, damn, it's crazy because I really like Steen. I really want him to rise to his full potential and be that dude over there. But I was about to say it, so I got to say it. Like, you see Steen out there. He's not a backup, he's our starter, but it's just certain things. Remember, I just recall last year seeing Becton. It's crazy enough, Becton isn't doing as well over there in San Diego as he was doing over here. But regardless of what, he worked for us. And I just recall last season, it wasn't even a thought. The operation was smooth. I didn't pay it a second thought. Even times, when we had to go silent count at home, silent count on the road. You see Becton smack Juergens and boom, we in there. But now saying that out loud, and this is what the therapy's for, you realize that that's the backup center and a brand new right guard. He's been here for a while. But I mean, so the communication could be a bit shaky, but we saw a little bit of shakiness in that. Getting mad at these penalties, hurting ourselves a lot out there. But a win is a win is a win. At the end of the day, it's all about the Winchman's, baby. And we got that. Got to get back to work. We got fat during the bye week. We felt good living on cloud nine. We see other teams go down. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of great things, and I just thought it was just going to be a explosion tonight. But once again, we must always remember that team on the other side, they get paid to do what they do. They put up a valiant effort. I was definitely not so much shook, but a bit reticent, concerned, I guess you could say, to a certain extent, being that they lost last week in Lambeau. I sometimes hate facing the top teams in the league after a loss because, they coming in and they definitely acquitted themselves well themselves. They came out here, they was ready to fight, and there are certain parts of the game plan that I did love, albeit we didn't accrue as much yardage or big plays or points for that matter as I would like. But the fact that I believe Jalen Hurts stayed clean tonight, I don't think he took 1 sack. If it was one, if any. So that's dope. But like I said, the penalties and these run plays, seeing guys getting pushed back into Saquon, there was a lot of slipping. So, you can't get mad, but I'm going to get mad regardless. It's going to upset me. Like, you see plays that could be open. And then one, I believe, at the end, early in the game, the one that a lot of slipped on, Mama Maniac is like, say, what are you doing? And all year, she's been thinking it's Saquon. I'm telling her it's a different offensive line. It's not the same team as last year. It's not so much Saquon's fault or especially the O-line's fault, but I would lean more to saying it's the O-line not creating the same holes that they did last year. And plus also, once again, the opposition learning from what we did last year and getting better at that. But there was one, so that one, not so much Saquon's fault, but towards the end of the game, there was one I felt like he could have bounced outside. Leads me to believe perhaps he's not 100% healthy. Or things just, like I said in Immediate Maniac React, things just looked weird tonight. I'm seeing us come off the ball at certain times looking tired. Can you get tired on a bye week? Vic Fangio will probably tell you, yeah, like we don't get the time on the field that we used to get. It's almost like guys got out of football shape during the bye week. Like, what's going on? Where's the stamina? We had 2 weeks off, and albeit we won, there were certain moments when I felt we looked like the more tired team. I'm loving the rotations on defense, though. I'm seeing guys coming in waves. I'm seeing shout out to Jalix Hunt out there on the hunt. You know what I'm saying? Picking up the sack, TFLs and all that. So big up on him. He's like, oh, you're bringing more people, and you think so? You must have forgot. I am the hunt. So I'm on the hunt. So yeah, he went out there, did his thing. That was super dope. Defenders, we heard Cooper DeJean's name called a few times tonight. We can never get mad at that guy. They didn't really. That's one thing that drives me crazy about coverage of the NFL now. Like, there'll be a penalty, and then they'll show a replay, not even a replay of the penalty that they called. Like, what? Awesome was. So I didn't see what exactly transpired, but his name got called a few times tonight. It is what it is. It's going to happen throughout the course of the season. Quinyon comes back. He has lockdown coverage on a few plays. Super dope. Xavier Gibson gives us a bit of a boost. I don't like the way because I know a few Jets fans. Xavier Gibson, they're glad he's gone. Super mad, but he does accrue yardage. He does get yardage. He does get chunk on returns, this and the third. But I just still saw him putting it out there. He's got to secure that thing a bit better. But nothing happens tonight, so I don't even want to put it in the universe. But I believe I just did. Regardless of what, the special teams for the most part, I believe, acquitted itself well. And acquitted is the word of the night. BG went out there, did his thing. Jalen Phillips was looking good. Jalen Carter, the bread man. He was, you know what I'm saying, disastrous. He was causing problems. Effective, if you will. Jordan Davis, I saw him in there. Moro Ojimo. Yeah, for the most part, the defense, I can't really find any duds. If you know something, let me know. The offense, this the play caller, man. Look at our boy Sirianni over there talking to the team. What he said? What my boy talking about? Wow. Oh, just wow. Wow.
Inside a victorious
wow. Wow. Eagles, baby. Just a wow. And shout out to our coach, Nixon Sirianni. You know what I'm saying? You know what he's saying is true. He's so sincere. And he was fighting through whatever he's fighting. Sounded like he was a little sick. And he was over there trying to bring the energy to the defense side, offensive side. He's on that sideline going crazy. And you could tell he's fighting through something, whatever, sore throat, voice, lost voice, whatever the case may be. He's out there doing what he does. Just we got to get this off. What is it, y'all? What is it, man? You see, early in the game, I see we're giving targets to A.J. Brown, and then after that first drive, just went away from it. You saw this halftime graphic, 2 targets, 2 receptions, 13 yards or something like that. Like, it's just what I don't want to have to hear tomorrow, and we're going to hear it throughout the week. And we really shouldn't give a flock about it. A win is a win is a win. Do we take that shot at the end of the game? If not for AJ wanting to be more involved, and it's like, nah, Kev, like that. We saw what happened when he got 4 receptions, 2 touchdowns a few games ago. Like, I think maybe perhaps a bit more volume. Like, get the boy active, get him going. I mean, I can only imagine running these routes. For the most part, I'm not going to lie. I'm not really too much on AJ's side as far as the complaining while winning. But as a human, I have to understand. Like, it's a toss-up. I can't say I'm not on his side because I do understand to a certain extent. Like, dude, winning is winning. Like, what's wrong with this guy? But these guys are running routes, man. And not to mention how hard these dudes work. So I'm not saying I'm so much leaning more. There's got to be more of a balance is really what I'm saying. Like, it feels, and this is why I can understand him. He's been through things in his life and therapy and mental, dealing with mental health issues too. I don't know the extent of it, and I don't want to classify it as something maybe more. No, dude said he was, feel me? Like, that was a weird gesture. You get what I'm saying? He was dealing with, I don't even want to say the word, but y'all know what I'm talking about. So I feel like he feels that he has to get it off his chest so he doesn't compress anything. And therefore, by doing that, not be able to navigate traverse trials that he endures properly if he doesn't get it off his chest and spit it out. While it may be annoying to us certain fans, sometimes we got to peel back the onion a little bit and see that there's layers to this. You know what I mean? It's a bit more serious than we'll ever know. You know what I mean? We're fans at the end of the day. We don't see AJ on a day-to-day, you know? But maybe this is what he has to do in order to do what he does, right? And to that end also, like we said, the work that he puts in, he's an amazing talent. We know, like, what he does is he's one of the best at what he does in the world. You feel me? So you're doing that. You're running routes all day, coming back, they ain't going your way. So I was mad early in the season, you know, when he didn't finish that route that Jay had him. I believe it was against. Was it against the Giants? No, I don't think it was against the Giants. I forget what game it was. Regardless, you see him, he's not finishing the route, and Jalen's laying it out there to him. He's not finishing the route, and you're like, damn, bro, like, say you got to make the most of your opportunities. That was one right there. You didn't finish the route. But on the other side of that coin, when you flip that pillow and cool the flock out, you look, it's like, damn, dogs. Like, this guy's running all damn game. And now, like, it's annoying, but you kind of could understand. But you got to go out there, got to go hard all the time, man. I even see us, I believe I saw one tonight, albeit it was the Smitty touchdown. But if you're watching AJ, you know, he's running across, and it just doesn't seem like with that speed, with that intensity, that the guy thinks the ball is coming to him. But that could just be a glitch, not so much a glitch, just me not seeing the route, knowing the route concept and what the route requires. Because on many occasions, we'll see a Devontae Adams. There's another dude out there killing it. He ran sort of a Devontae Adams route this weekend too. But if y'all know what I'm saying, like, you'll see Devontae Adams. He's not. You don't have to run full speed the whole time on every route. Sometimes that's part of the concept to make a guy think you're not doing what he thinks you're doing. You feel me? So there's a lot of things, a lot of question marks, a lot of things to unpack. I usually like to end on a high note on this, and I tried. I went back to the defense. We started with the offense, went defense, and went back offense. But there goes my coach talking. Let's see what sincerity I ain't talking about over here. There you go. Sometimes you, sometimes me, always us. I love the AJ block on the Saquon run. That was super dope too. Let's see what wow. Oh, they hype over there. My boys hype, I'm hype. Let's go. Let's talk about it. Clap it up. Okay. Okay, special teams, wow. I was right. Okay, I was right on that. At least we seen the same thing. Jalen in there smiling, clapping it up.
Hey, and welcome with a big time strip sack.
Yeah. Jalen Philly Phillips get the game ball. Let's go. I need to stop on fourth down. Strip sack? Wait, who got that ball? Was it a strip sack? Is that what they're calling it? Oh no, went on 3. But yeah, it's good seeing the guys in there and good energy, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you'll see a win and the guys ain't looking like they really about it. My boy Sirianni got a hype man in there. You can see one of the players is out there echoing what he's saying. So it's a good thing, good vibes, and that's all we could really ask for at the end of the day. That actually makes me feel better than I was feeling right now. I don't know why I'm so glum after a W. What are we talking about over here? Big Birds things over here. It's all about the Benjamins, baby. What the fuck they mean? You feel me? Top of the damn league, 7-2. Oh yeah. Conference leader. We got tiebreakers against all of them. Yeah. So good things are going on. We're gonna keep this thing going, man. I'm trying to keep ahead, keep working like my team is working. If I want my team to work, I gotta work too, right? So the bye week's over. We're about to make this rush towards the playoffs and hopefully towards, the ultimate goal. So let's this thing go, man. To the next time, make it your best time. In the meantime, between time, keep it a green time. You know how I like to do around this time, about this time, at this time. So always equals a clock around here. Open your eye, people, eagle eye in, and get a and say it with me, y'all. You already know what this is. EAGLES. Eagles, go Birds, fly, Eagles, fly. Flock up, flock off. You already know, man. I think this is where we gotta go. Everything, it's right. The locker room's good. We got dubs. What more could we ask for in this thing, man? Next up, lay him down. That's all I want to hear is that sound. Go Birds. Oh yeah, that's at the crib too. get the music playing. I've only had to do 10 push-ups tonight. I was only able to play the fight song once. It's crazy. So maybe that's why. And, you know, the anticipation after being off for a week and a half, you know, no, 2 weeks with the bye week. It's been fun. It's been crazy, stress-free watching football. And boom, in one blink, it just comes all the way back. They're pushing my buttons, man. We going for it on 4th and 6, up by 3 with 1 and change to go. Boy. So, yeah, we got fat while they was away. So now it's time to lock in, man. Flock up or flock off. You already know, man. Let's go, Birds. Let's get the fuck out of here.